It seems to me that Brexit is, in fact, quite a simple concept. My constituents knew they were voting for three things. They were voting for control of our immigration policy, they were voting to leave the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice, and they were voting to determine our trade policy. And that is why it is so essential that we leave both the single market and the customs union. Neither institution is compatible with delivering what my constituents, and indeed our country, voted for. And that is why I stand in frank disbelief at the nature of some of the comments that we've heard this afternoon. And I always regret what is called blue-on-blue action, but I cannot stand by the comments by the Right Honourable Lady for Broxtowe, where she said that we have to suck it up, and I quote. My constituents had a vote in which they voted to leave the European Union precisely because they weren't going to suck it up. Precisely because they knew what they wanted, and what they wanted was to leave the European Union. And fidelity to that vote, fidelity to our voters, fidelity to the promises that are there implicit between the governing and the governed is absolutely essential to the health of our democracy, not just in the context of this debate, but in the context of the years and the centuries that stretch ahead. Because it is absolutely clear to me that if we break faith, if we ignore their voice, then, as the Right Honourable Lady for Don Valley said, we will have created the most almighty problem for ourselves. And indeed, we will have lost the chance to have a more sensible debate around those issues like immigration, which have stirred such passions, and where we will only ever be able to get ourselves into a place from where we can have a more balanced and constructive conversation once we have accountability in this House for who comes to our country and on what terms. And with that in mind, I think we have to recognise that when we hear comments about how this is playing to extremists, the real danger with extremism in our politics is if we ignore what people voted for. We have seen in Germany, we are seeing in Italy, we have even seen in the United States what happens when people believe that their voice is not being respected. That is the danger here, because, my goodness, we will look back on this as the most cataclysmic mistake if we unleash some of the forces who are all too eager for this House to fail to deliver what the British people voted for. That is my warning to colleagues. That is why I will absolutely and categorically not vote for any amendment which fails to deliver the Brexit that this country demands.